Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Grace Sararman, and I'm a full-time missionary with Crew Philippines. I am very much privileged to share with you today my knowledge and my personal experience about the role of connection and spiritual conversation in the Great Commission ministry. But before we dig deeper to our topic, let me share with you my screen. So right now, people are present 24/7 on different social media platforms, waiting for someone to talk to, looking for someone to listen to them, and seeking for attention. These open doors for us for borderless ministry. The challenge is, how can we introduce them to Jesus Christ in our new setup? How can we connect to them? So let me show you a conversation and find out the importance of connecting well. You see, conversation without connecting well leads to confusion, and we want to avoid that. So why is it important to connect well? Paul said in Colossians 1:28, so everywhere we go, we talk about Christ to all who will listen. In the new normal context, the principles of connecting well remains true. First, we want to connect well because we want to present the gospel relevantly. Make the gospel a good news to them. Understand that we are in a difficult situation right now. Listening, affirming, and encouraging people are some ways of meeting their felt need. So, we have to be intentional on it. However, conversation is not an end itself. It is a means of evangelism. Second, we want to build relationship or friendship with these people. That's why at the beginning of the conversation, remember to communicate confidentiality, credibility, and concern. The third one, connecting well helps you set the mood or environment for deeper spiritual conversation or evangelism. Fourth, connecting well and spiritual conversation helps you know or discern the thoughts of your audience on spiritual matters. So through that, you will be able to know if the person is receptive to the gospel or rejective to the gospel. And then last, connecting well is a key element of effective communication. So before the pandemic, we share the gospel face-to-face. And the principle we follows before does not change in the new normal setup. The only thing that changed is our approach or our platforms. So how does it look like in the new normal? So first, if a person can only be reached through chat or text message, utilize platforms that can help you connect with them the easiest way. So there are different social media platforms. So aside from Facebook and Instagram, there's WhatsApp, WeChat, and Twitters. So just utilize those platforms that is you think most suitable in your country or most useful in your country. Second, choose words that clearly communicate your thoughts. So you have to type, read, and retype before you click send. So it's very important that you will check first or review first the message that you are about to send. Third, make sure that you are using appropriate emojis. So one wrong emoji can ruin a well-thought message. So if you're going to check your messenger or your Instagram, you will see there different emojis representing different kinds of emotions or feelings. So be sure that you are familiar. You are very much familiar with those emojis because it uh, it is really important, especially when we connect to our audience via chat or via text message. Yeah. Fourth, people replies to chat whenever they please. It may take time before they respond to you sometime. Wait patiently and ask one question at a time. So avoid asking multiple questions. So when the person does not respond to you right away, then you have to wait. You have to wait before asking another question. Fifth, every conversation is unique. Keep it interesting while keeping in mind that your primary intention is to connect them to Jesus Christ. And then the last one is that pray that your conversation will eventually lead to a gospel presentation. Share the gospel as soon as you have the opportunity. So I remember I shared to someone last May, and it really took me 4 days to complete the gospel presentation, but it's worth the effort. That person received Christ in her life, and right now she is watching CCF live every Sunday. So remember that sharing the gospel does not begin in asking, have you heard of the 4 spiritual laws? It begins with a simple greeting. So the question is how to connect well. So we do that by asking good questions. It is very important that you know as a minister or as the one who is sharing or connecting, it's important that you know how to ask good questions because our questions are the gateway to our listening. And therefore, they are the building blocks of good interaction. So here is an example question. Did you watch the video? So instead of asking this question, you may ask, what is the video all about? Or what are your thoughts after watching the video? So the first one is what we call the close-ended questions. It simply answers yes or no, therefore limits good conversation. The second one is the open-ended questions. It requires the person to elaborate their point or their response. Therefore, it promotes meaningful conversation. As you ask questions, remember to connect well. So how can we connect well in our new setup? First, listen to their story, empathize with their story, and last one, redemptively retell their story. So think before you speak and take turns. So how can we start connecting well to our audience? So to start, there are 3 levels of conversation that leads to connecting well. So to start, we do not directly ask personal or hard questions like, what do you feel right now? But we start the conversation with a common chit chat. So it's the simple hi, hello, how are you, and introducing yourself to them, and yeah, introducing each other. So remember to communicate confidentiality and credibility at this level. Okay. It is crucial nowadays because people in social media don't normally trust people. So I have here an example conversation. So when you are replying through an FB page, your name will not appear on Messenger. Instead, it's the name of your FB page. So I have here an example conversation last May. So let's just call her Grace. So normally, people replying to FB posts or ads don't ask your name. But if they will, just simply state your name and your work or status with that page. The second level is step down into personal history. So discover how the person is doing, like what is their concerns or their typical day or their status. Then listen carefully. So it's is this what is shown through affirming or clarifying what they shared. So remember also to communicate concern. So here is an example convo. So if you observe in this level, Grace was able to open up a bit about her concern. So the first level is a common chit chat. The second level is step down to personal history. And then the last level is get down to the values of the heart. So this is where we ask, how did it make you feel? Or what are you most excited about right now? So this is the deeper level of questions that moves us into getting to know someone. It's where conversation truly happens. Yeah. And who knows, possibly even friendship. So here is the continuation of our conversation. So this conversation could lead to sharing the gospel. So remember that every conversation is unique. Keep it interesting while keeping in mind that your primary intention is to connect them to Jesus. So sometimes because we want to know a lot we want to know more about the person, we ask we ask more questions. But we should not forget that our intention why we talk to them or why we chat them is because we want to connect them to Jesus Christ. And of course, remember to pray that your conversation will eventually lead to a gospel conversation. Share the gospel as soon as you have the opportunity. And here are some conversation ideas. Talk about their jobs or their interests or their hobbies. Talk about their dreams or their plans. Talk about their opinions regarding a current issue. So these are just some ideas. There are a lot, or there are more to this. And make sure that this will just be conversation hooks or conversations that will really lead to gospel presentation. So you have to be creative, to be mindful if it is okay to share the gospel to that person